do you love Christians?
That's a very kind of vague question, right? To answer that question simply, I would say Muslims love goodness.
No, I'm asking
We love
do
goodness.
you love
If someone
Christians?
does good, I love that person who does good. If someone does bad, I don't love that person who does bad, right? So if you generally ask me, do I love all Christians? I would answer no. Obviously, I don't love all Christians. I don't love the Crusades who went to Muslim lands and they were chopping heads, right? I don't love the Crusades, for example, right? So there are certain people I don't love. I don't love certain Muslims. I don't love extremist groups that go kills people and make our religion look bad. I don't love those people. So it doesn't matter what your religion is. What do you do? So I love the Muslims that do good because they are my brothers in the faith in Islam, as the Quran says. But when you ask me, do you love Christians? What kind of Christians are you referring to? Generally, do I love all Christians? No, I wouldn't say I love all Christians. You have to give me a reason to love you, right?
So your answer to the question about do you love Christians is what?
Is no, I don't love everyone. I don't love all Christians. I love the people based on the actions that they take, but I treat them well. So I would treat Christians good, as the Quran teaches me to do. But do you ask me, do I love all Christians? The answer to that is simply no.
Does your Allah, does he love all Christians?
Allah loves the good people. Allah doesn't love the transgressors. Allah doesn't love the disbelievers.
So does he love all Christians?
But Christians are not Muslims. So if let me put it this, but this is the thing, Jesse, with all due respect, right? You're asking me to give a blanket statement, right?
No,
and are you saying all Christians are the same? No, but are you saying all Christians are the same?
I'm trying to get understanding, and I want to know, does your Allah love the Christians?
Does Allah love all Christians? Generally? Is that the question?
Well, the Christian mean all Christian, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the answer to that question is Allah loves the believers. If they don't believe in Allah, why would Allah love them?
So Allah loves some of the Christians, but not all the Christians?
But the Christians don't believe in Allah. Which Christians are you referring to? Those who believe in the Trinity, who associate partners with Allah. If you associate a partner with Allah, Allah doesn't love you. If you worship other than Allah, Allah doesn't love you.
Does Allah love the Jews?
If you worship other than Allah, Allah doesn't love you, right? I'm giving you a blanket statement as an answer, right? So if you are a Jewish person who's not a Muslim, who don't believe in Allah, who don't worship Allah, this is the thing, right? A creator you don't believe in, then why are you waiting? Because you're kind of trying to introduce Christianity into Islam here, right? Christianity is what is trying to sell this idea of we love everyone, give the other cheek and all of that. But when we see in practice, you don't love everyone. The European countries that claim to be Christian, that go colonize Muslim countries, we don't say you love everyone. The priests that I engage with, they don't love me, right? Even though they would confess and use the term, I love you. But when you look at their actions, they tell the most, right? So we love, when you give us a reason to love you, we would love you. If you don't have a reason to love you, we wouldn't love you. Regarding the Creator loves you based on your actions.
But what I don't understand, how can your Allah love some but not all? Because God, my God, he loved all, and he says to us that in order to be of him, we have to love all. And it doesn't mean you agree with the bad things people do because you understand why they do it, but you can't hate them because they do it. So how is it that your Allah loves some people but not all people?
Okay, do you believe your God loves Hitler?
Yes.
So that's the difference between our God and yours. Allah does not love the transgressors.
Our God is the real God. Your God is not the real one. If he doesn't love all
we can talk about that, but this is like my toy is better than your toy. Like we have to talk about facts, right? If you just tell me that, like, that's not proving anything. The point is this, right? We say Allah, there is no unconditional love, right? And I would say even Christians, they give a fake perception of unconditional love. Do you know why they give a fake perception? Because if you don't believe in Jesus, you don't have salvation, according to the Bible, according to Paul. Salvation is only in the belief of Jesus Christ. So if you don't believe in Jesus, according to Paul, St. Paul, as he says in his letters in Galatians and otherwise, you do not get paradise. You do not get heaven. You do not get rewarded. So it's conditional, and the condition is to believe in Jesus. Similarly, Allah's love is conditional, and the condition is that you do righteousness. You try to be your best. Try to do as much as you can. No one is perfect. We're not asking you for perfection, but to do as much good as you can, to avoid as much evil as you can, and to believe in God, not to associate partners with him. And then Allah will love you. So if you want Allah to love you, then follow the Prophet. And that's a verse in the Quran, by the way, chapter 3 of the Quran, verse 32, you can read it. You can read it. It says, if you want Allah to love you, then follow the Prophet and Allah will love you. Follow the righteous deeds, do the actions, believe in the Creator, and through His mercy, He will admit you to paradise and He will love you. So it's conditional of whether you actually do good or no.
Let me ask.
Okay.
Is Allah the same God that the Christian God is?
That's a great question. We would say Allah is the God of Jesus. Yes, the God of Abraham, the God of Noah, the God of all of the prophets and messengers.
Oh, so Allah is the Father of Jesus Christ?
Yes, you use the term father for him. We don't use the term father. We don't believe God becomes pregnant or gives birth. We don't believe Allah has a wife or father or grandfather or grandmother. We believe the Creator is the creator and we are the creation. But whoever you call the Father as Christians is whom we call Allah. To put it very simply, to bring the idea closer, basically.
So as a Muslim, do you love all the Christians and the Jews?
But you already asked that question in the beginning of the talk, right? I did answer that question, right?
Do you love all the Jews?
I answered the question. I said that if someone is good and doing good, then I love him for doing the good.
So you love some of the Jews. You love the Jews that are doing good?
I love the actions that they're doing.
Do you
if they're
love
doing good actions,
Jewish...
then I believe their actions are good. But as individuals, if they disbelieve in the Creator, then I don't love someone who transgresses against God. I don't love someone who curses God. And you should read what the Bible says about loving the Jews. If you want to read Matthew, talking how Jesus talked about the Jews, called them vipers and snakes, and how Jesus talked about the Jews, and why he said about that. If you want to start there, right? So the point is loving and not loving. I think these are very basic fundamental ideas that are being pushed in the West now based on liberalism, right? What do you mean by love? You tell me now. You explain to me. What do you mean by do I love the Jews?
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Explain to me what you mean by it, and I will explain to you.
I was going to ask you that in a minute. But what I want to know, you said you love only the Jews that are doing good.
I said if someone does a good action, I love the good action that he did. So I believe that person is doing good, and that person is helping the world, that person is contributing into the world. But there are things that he's doing bad as well, which I don't love. For example, disbelieving in God or cursing the prophets of God or otherwise. So you're expecting me to give you a general answer, but I cannot give you.
No,
I can give you what the Quran
might
says.
not notice, I'm black and slow, so I try to make it simple. And so what I want to know,
yes.
Do you, as a Muslim, you love the Jews you say that are doing good, right?
If a Jewish person is doing good, then look, there is an article of faith in Islam. Okay, the article of faith in Islam is that you love the believers, and you do not love disbelief. So if someone is a disbeliever who disbelieves in a Creator, who disobeys God and worships other than God, then I do not love that fact. I do not love the disbelief that he's a part. But I can love good actions that he does. So I can love you for being generous. Right? I can love a Jewish person for being generous. I can love a Jewish person for taking care of his neighbors. Right? I can love a Jewish person for trying to do good as much as he can, taking care of his children, introducing family values into the society. I can love him for these type of attributes, but I do not love the part where he disbelieves in God.
And so you love the Jewish people that are doing good, right? Give me a yes or no. I know you explained it already, but just so we can...
Okay.
You love the
yes,
Jewish
based
people
on the explanation that I gave.
I'm sorry?
Yes, based on the explanation that I gave. Yes, based on the explanation that I gave. With the nuance that I gave, yes.
How do you know what good is? What is good?
Excellent. So this is something called the idea of morality. Where does morality come from? So as Muslims, we believe that morality comes from God. God is the one who determines right and wrong. God is the one who determines good and bad. That's what we believe as Muslims. So whatever Allah says is good, and whatever Allah says is bad, is bad.
Amazing. What is love? When you say you love those that do good, what is love?
This is why I asked you. You know, now you're using my question against me.
No, I'm not using your question.
I'll explain. Let me
I'm not using your question. Since I'm talking, I was going to ask you that. You just jumped ahead of me.
No problem.
So what is love?
I just found it funny. It's okay. Okay, I'll answer from my perspective, right? So why do I mean, which is what I was explaining a while ago, right? What I mean by love is being just towards those Jews, being just towards those Christians, even if it was against my mother or father. So if I know my father is in the wrong, I would be on the side of the person who did righteousness, right? That's what Islam teaches. Islam teaches that you have to be just and good to everyone. So I have to be righteous with them. I have to be good with them. If they need help, I will help them. And I love the good attributes that they have of being generous, etc., and all of that. And I love the fact that they're able to stay on their religion. I'm not going to force my religion on them, right? So I wouldn't say I love that, of course, because they're upon this belief, but they are allowed to practice the religion. So at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was Jews and Christians, and they were living in the society, and they had their own courts, and they had their own marriages, and they had their own systems, and they were living under a Muslim society. So we believe that you have the right to practice your belief as a Jew or a Christian. You can live under a Muslim state. In fact, in Andalusia in Spain, the Jews were living under a Muslim Spain, and they were traveling all over the Ottoman Empire freely. In fact, the Salahuddin, who was the leader of the Muslim Empire at the time, his physician was a Jew. It was called Maimonides. If you know, Maimonides is called Second Moses. There's no Jew today who doesn't know who Maimonides is. He's one of the most prolific figures in Jewish tradition. He was the physician of Salahuddin. So we have a huge history of being good to the Jews and living a good life with the Jews. Unlike, I would say, what the Crusades were doing, a lot of what Christians were doing with the Jews. I think the history was not that good from that perspective.
But the Christian, quote-unquote, crusade was about protecting themselves from the Muslims, trying to kill them.
No, I think that's historically inaccurate. In fact,
No,
the first. Okay, go ahead. You want to say something?
That's true.
Okay, look, you can claim something is true, but you have something like the Spanish Inquisition, which shows you when those people went into the Muslim lands, they were killing the Muslims and their babies and their children over in their cities. That was not about protecting yourself, right? When maybe it was the first raid that they did by killing a group of Jews, that has nothing to do with Muslims, right? The Jews, in fact, escaped. They were running away from the Crusades, and they came and they seek refuge in Morocco. I'm talking about history now. They went to Morocco. That's why they still live in Morocco today. The Jews that live in Morocco today and Yemen and all of these countries, they were running away from the Crusades. So for you to say that the Crusades, this is historically inaccurate with all due respect, right? And history is not something that you can make up, right?
But I don't want to tarry with that too long.